Are you a non-US citizen looking to buy your first home here in New York City? Here are the 3 criteria coming up. Hi, this is Kai with the Wong team, helping you better understand everything you need to know about New York City real estate. Here today, I have Scott Nadler with Loan Depot. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks a lot for having me.
Thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a mortgage loan officer, so I help people who are looking to buy homes. I help them with financing for that home, or I help people who currently have a loan and need to restructure or refinance their current loan.
Periodically, we have international buyers looking to buy in New York City because, obviously New York City is an international hub. With the international buyers, I understand their financing options are a little different. So I want to talk to you about it. What are the 3 criteria?
Yeah, so there's been a misconception for many years that international clients don't have the ability to get financing, and that's not true. There are many options for international clients to get financing when purchasing real estate. Okay. The first step is really the down payment. Unlike a US citizen, where there are many options, they could put down 20%, sometimes 10% down, an international client typically would have to put down to 50%.
What's the second criteria?
The second thing to think about is the paperwork that is needed. How do we verify someone's income and their assets and their credit? Typically, we'll look to get pay stubs if we can get them. We'll look to get tax returns if they have tax returns from their own country. Any document that we get, we would need converted into US currency and translated into English. Maybe someone's self-employed and we would need something from their accountant. If they don't have an accountant, maybe we can get something from their HR director or the CFO of the company. Some verification of what their income is.
Okay.
Now, income is very important, but perhaps more important is really the assets. Because if someone tells us that they're making $1 million a year, but we only see $50,000 worth of assets in their bank account, those numbers don't really line up. So it will be important to justify and document all the assets that someone does have.
Okay, in terms of assets, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like their homes over there, their boats?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the first thing is really their liquid assets. How much money do they have in the bank and where is that money? We will oftentimes require that they have some money in an internationally recognized institution. Okay. And typically we would need something around 24 months of reserves to be in that bank account. In addition to that, we'll look to other assets that they have from real estate. We'll look at even boats or yachts that they have, real estate, and we'll document everything, put an estimated value on those other assets, and use that to help them qualify.
Okay, just for the viewers that aren't aware, what do you mean when you say 24 months of reserve?
So a bank will want to make sure that after someone makes the down payment, so in this case, this 50% down payment, after they paid the closing costs, what's left in the bank? So banks oftentimes will want to make sure that they have somewhere around 24 months of mortgage plus maintenance plus taxes plus insurance plus that whole monthly payment in the bank after closing. So for example, let's say one of these clients has a monthly payment of $10,000 a month. They'll want to make sure that they have 10 times 24 months of that asset in their bank account. So in that example, that's $240,000 in the bank after they made the down payment and after they paid the closing costs. And that $240,000 in this example would need to be in an internationally recognized institution.
Got it, okay. And does that $240,000 have to be a liquid asset?
That would need to be a liquid asset, exactly, it would.
Perfect, okay. So what's the third criteria?
The third thing to think about is rates. So rates, by and large, will be somewhere around 5/8 to 1% higher than rates for a US citizen. There's always going to be higher risk when it's for somebody who isn't living here permanently. We're talking about clients who are buying property in New York for investment purposes only. They're not going to be living in this property. For an international client, the rate will be even a little bit higher than that. With that being said, oftentimes, these rates are lower than what they would get from their own countries. Wow. So it is a more attractive option for those clients who are looking for financing.
Quick question, after they buy the property and then later on pay everything off and then refinance it, can they get lower rates?
They would still be eligible for a foreign national rate. So it depends on where the market is at that point. Now, if that same person ended up getting a green card or becoming a US citizen, then they would be eligible for a lower rate.
Thank you so much for the 3 criteria. I know a lot of international buyers are very confused with the process, and because of that, they get scared away from buying. Do you see the same thing as well?
It's a complicated process. Most international people don't like taking on debt, period.
Of course.
But now this is an opportunity where they can buy a property and not put all of their assets towards buying that home. They can save something and maybe reinvest into other properties or other investment opportunities.
Got it. So how long before they want to start looking at home should they have this conversation just to understand and get the paperwork?
For an international client, the earlier the better, because there's a lot of little nuances when it comes to getting financing for an international buyer. So the sooner that we can get all of our ducks in a row, the better.
Well, thank you so much for watching the video. If you're new here, consider subscribing. On this channel, we share with you buying, selling tips, market updates, and neighborhood guides. So welcome to our channel. See you in the next video. Bye.